What if I told you that in just 7 days I'm turning zero experience into a fully playable game? So I challenged myself to make a game in just 7 days. But we have a problem. I don't know what I'm doing. I did a little research and I figured out how to create my first project in Unreal Engine 5 and I still don't know what I'm doing. With little confidence, I came up with an idea that is so epic, it'll change the game industry forever. This is the idea. Don't touch me, Diddy. The main idea for this is for the player to escape Diddy's mansion without being touched. Bless Epic Games for already having a first-person character, but now we gotta do everything else. I think the best place to start is making some assets for our game. The first asset we're gonna be working on is the Diddler. For this, we're gonna go into Photoshop and get the best picture we can find of the Diddler. Make it a transparent background, then make a shitty model in Blender. I was trying to do a full-body character. I kinda sucked at it, but I'll eventually make it better. Then, I did a UV mapping and adjust the texture to the face. Now that our amazing model is done, we gotta import it into Unreal Engine 5, and here we have it. Next, I moved on into creating a world, which I had to watch a bunch of tutorials to kind of make it work.
Alt on the keyboard and use the middle mouse button to drag down.
I'm not even exaggerating, after 2 hours of just playing around in Unreal Engine 5, here's what we got.
Yes! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Wait until you see the inside. We got the stairs to the left, and we go up the stairs, we go through this door, and eventually we'll find the room.
Nice.
As you can see, the mansion's pretty empty, so what I did was I downloaded this modern house asset, and now I have tons of assets that I can decorate the house with. Are you seeing the issue that I have here?
Huh?
Alright, let me just ask you, find the player. Which one of this multiple dots is the player? If you said this one in the middle, which you didn't, don't lie, that's the player. The whole house, it's so big, but we like big, so I refuse on making it smaller. And for that, we're gonna need way more assets. I got all of these different assets, so we can start spending all day today building this mansion. After 8 hours of grind, here's what I came up with. On this corner right here, we have the art room, conference room 1, conference room 2. We have the theater right here, bedroom 2. It's gonna be a future baby oil room. We also got curtains in our master bedroom, a photo shoot studio, a recording studio, a basketball court with some cool paintings right here. We also have a weight room and a pool area. This took me 8 hours, and I'm not even halfway done to decorating the house. But we like big, so I refuse on making it smaller. The only decoration left for us to do is the first floor of the house and to put some trees around the outside, which we're gonna do in day 3. Turns out I ran out of assets to put. I've looked into every single free asset that I can put in this house, and nothing matches what I need for this downstairs floor. I cut 25% of the house, made a dining table with the kitchen, a 2 TV living room. I got a trophy room. I did a disco. There's no party like a Diddy party. Put a solar system together, a bathroom. Then I went ahead and moved on to the outside. Even though Unreal Engine has already a foliage mode to make beautiful landscapes, since we're not doing anything too complex, I'm just placing each one of these trees by hand. By the time I was placing all these trees, I realized that I should probably not overload the world with trees because the mansion's already so big, filled with details. If I keep adding more onto it, the game's gonna be unplayable. And I can't promise the game being optimized because I don't know what I'm doing. Now that we have the mansion fully decorated, I went ahead and got it started on the Diddler's AI. For this, we need the AI to complete 3 basic functionalities. The first one, being able to detect the player throughout the mansion and navigate to the player. After watching a tutorial and realizing that the character that I have done was wrong, I had to create a new character where I made some scripts so it can move to the player. I added a pawn sensing component that allows the character to actually sense where the player is at. And you're gonna ask, how does it know where to go? Unreal Engine 5 also has a built-in component called navigation mesh, and this works by generating a map where the character can move. The sad part is I wasted so much time trying to figure out why my navigation mesh wouldn't work, and turns out all these problems were easily fixed by unchecking a couple of things. Now, for the second main functionality is for the Diddler to be able to open doors. This was so simple, yet I committed the most stupid mistake. You remember that checkbox I unchecked earlier? I'll get to that. I made an algorithm that checked if the player was upstairs or downstairs by having sound. If it was upstairs, the diddler would move to the top of the stairs and find the nearest door to open. That way the navigation mesh would be updated. And I spent all day working on this algorithm just for it to go into the garbage, because after unchecking that box, it fixed all my problems like before. So without overcomplicating, the way I did this mechanism was for the door to detect the diddler and open itself when he was nearby. And the last one is for the diddler to touch the player and send them back to his bedroom. If I sound a little different, it's because my mic broke, so now I'm using a $20 mic that I found in my closet. But just like and subscribe so I can afford a new mic, or Diddy's gonna get you. This was the easiest mechanism to do, because first I needed to check if Diddy's hit the player's capsule component. And if you don't know what a capsule component is, it's basically this capsule right here that allows the player to move around and get hit by shit. Then after detecting if Diddy hit the player, we get the location of the player start and we teleport the player to it. And just like magic, the diddler's AI is finally done. We're going to be using hardcore drugs to make my game better.
What did he say?
Let me explain. The game as of now is pretty plain, as we have Diddy chasing a little character around his mansion, but we need to add an extra layer of dopamine, and this is going to be through drugs. For this, I had to learn how to use post-processing. This is a very powerful tool that allows you to make visual effects. I had no clue how any of this worked, so I spent all day trying to figure out how a bunch of functions in the material doing math can go from this to this. After cooking up some drugs, I was able to make 4, which gave the player more dopamine and added some difficulty to the game. Now that I have some drugs to give, how is the player going to get drugged? Well, at first I made a script that would assign random drug effects to the player when it spawned, which is going to stay like that for the rest of the video. But as I'm editing this, I came up with a way better method for this, which is using a spoon and a lighter. I'm kidding. What I have in mind is for the lights in the house to turn red following a gas being released across all the rooms, eventually hotboxing the house and drugging the player. We have a little character, we have drugs, we have Diddy. It doesn't get any better than that, is what Beyonce would say. But I say the game needs more. With less than 48 hours left, I need to add objects to combat Diddy and the drug effects. For this, I came up with 2 items that will make the game fun to play. Let's start with the pill bottle. I grabbed an asset online for a used pill bottle, which I fixed in Blender. Then I made an animation. With this done, I imported it into Unreal Engine 5, but for some reason my pill bottle animation did not want to work. Turns out Unreal Engine 5 animations work strictly with rigged bodies, allowing you to move each part separately. So I had to reanimate the pill bottle with the rigid body that was created automatically by Unreal Engine 5. After that, I had to make 3 different blueprints that make up the pill bottle item. One for the item that spawns in the game, and the second and third are used for after consuming the pill, which gives it a cool effect of dropping an empty bottle and lid, and it despawns after 5 seconds. And if you didn't notice, I also made a text that looks at the player and lets them know they can pick up the object. Then I went ahead and added some functionality when consuming the pills. So when you consume a pill, it only gets rid of 1 drug effect at a time, making it more difficult to actually fully be sober and having to find more pill bottles. I just want to share real quick one of my favorite attempts to making the pill bottle work. Like, what the fuck's going on here? With the pill bottle done, I went ahead and moved to the beer bottle. The beer bottle was pretty simple. The pickup mechanism works the same as the pill bottle, and when you left click, you can throw it around. But how is this useful? You can actually grab this bottle and throw it at Diddy to stun him for 5 seconds. Come here, boy! Oh shit, I missed. And the way I made this work was by doing a little script in Diddy's AI to detect if he was being hit by the beer bottle, and if he got hit, then it will stop all movement for 5 seconds. With these 2 items done, I went to sleep for 3 hours so I could be ready for the last day of this challenge. It's the last day of the challenge, and I don't think we're gonna finish the game. But don't worry, because I do plan on finishing it and selling Escape the Diddler at a low price of 69 cents. The last day, I spent it on making the game more optimized because it was running at a whopping 30 FPS. The thing that was draining the most power in my game was all the spotlights. Why? Equals not very well optimized. So I spent a lot of time on this, and now we're pulling around 70 FPS, which should actually increase when we build the game. Then I added an effect to the world to limit the view distance through a post-processed material. Then finally, I spread all the items around the map, and I made this pause menu, which it kind of works. I still gotta fix it. And I just want to point out there was a bunch of bugs and fixes that I had to deal with, and a bunch of extra features that I added, but I simply forgot to mention it in this video. Stay tuned for next update. And my time was up. The game looks something like this. As of now, there really isn't a goal yet. Leave suggestions in the comments. What I was thinking was for the player to be able to lock doors, find keys, get rid of door barricades, and find some collectible items throughout the whole map. You know, after finishing this game, it made me realize that I can do a lot more with game development than I thought I could. But this is a passion of mine. This is something I want to do in the future. And I'm actually going to college for computer science, which, if you don't know the job market, is pretty sad. If you go to any networking event, there's going to be millions of people just wanting to hand out resumes. There's going to be so much competition. It's crazy out there. So that's why I'm trying to create my own job by making videos for y'all. So I need tuition money. And tuition ain't cheap, bro. And leave in the comments any suggestions that I should do, because, you know, I think the game has, oh shit, I think the game has a lot of potential, and it's actually pretty fun in RTX. So believe me when I say this, I am going to finish this game. I'm gonna make Diddy better, and y'all are gonna have so much fun playing the game, getting touched by Diddy.